Let's talk about visions. The world is a gigantic waste can of our hopes, of our twisted beauty, our faces, our lips stabbed and sliced by the daggers of power. And you want to talk about visions? Of course, visions are what it is about, the ultimate ethereal heaven we could have here on earth. But in the meantime, there are peasants to slaughter and castrate in Guatemala, Iraqi peasants to carpet bomb with surgical 15,000-pound bombs. We justify and praise under the American flag. There is the obscure ignorance of our people who think they know the main things and can feel pride and hang out yellow ribbons in a righteous cause and never understand two things out of the 1,000 we need to understand to be truly human in these complicated days, to learn disgust and defiance at the billion lies told every circling of the moon, our global barbarian, our genocide of Vietnam. And guess what? The Vietnamese still have the highest liver cancer rate in the world. The direct result of our great gifts furnished by our agency of Orange, located across the Potomac, our genocide of Vietnam, where 2 million simple people's lives were erased. But our government liars would have us think it was a mere 100,000 brown devils who would do any evil for communism, a word they had never even heard, as they cowered under straw conical hats. And one layer of thin clothing in shelters in the heat under the rain of American bombs dropped by American mercenaries laughing at 30,000 feet, carrying out the destruction of their own souls in this fabric of hell woven here in the neighborhood of our homeland. This homeland that is rightly worried about poison gas and nuclear bombs in the Middle East, yet manufactured our own deadly nerve gas and led the world in the most ghastly arms race of all. For 40 years that gave just ourselves 37 submarines, prowling unseen and perhaps unknown in the murk of 7 seas, bearing in their bowels 335 complete World War IIs each in cosmic bombs to make everything completely secure, but that just might have to be flung at each other in this earth. Who knows, to end it all in 30 minutes just for the hell of it. Or because a 15-cent transistor shorted out. Or for some other equally insane reason. The glare that will poison the moon for 1,000,000 years and incinerate the graves of cardboard generals of power who fouled our lives at every turn with arguments and connections to serve this year's harvest for their stained selves, their six-packs and their bottled spirits. Protections for us all this week, they say. Saviors of our way of life, they tell us every month, as gaunt peasants everywhere wonder what way of life that is. Yet, when seen from the distance of 100 or 500 years, the vile, smeared lives of these generals will be discerned for the carrion they were, from caricatures of our hopes, our visions. Yes, our visions. Tell me about visions. Let us talk about visions. I want to see visions of joyful children, of loving men and women. But there are nightmares in the way. One of the most painful is the one that lets us know the nightmares are not seen at all by over 200 million of our country women and men here in our country. Till one of the nightmares touches one of them in defeat, in bankruptcy, or homelessness. but the frightened others look away to pay their bills and try to get it up with a few drinks and eat in expensive restaurants and laugh nervously in their finely finished family rooms. Where is the vision when we still occupy a garbage can? Is it on the street, the schoolyard, the church nave? Is it in the cities at all? Or is it only in the verdant forests, the fertile compost where butterflies and baboons prowl while still they can? Where is the vision? What is the vision? You want to know about vision? What exactly is your vision? Tell me. What is a vision worth having? Is it not to have one country run the world for itself? It's 250 million dominating 5 billion? 6 billion. 0.5% running all the rest. Building guns and high explosives and give to armies and police trained everywhere to serve our purposes, to pay them off, to cut them in, to care not at all about lacks of schools, of decent employment, of decent housing, of security in old age, of music and poetry and sculpture in the lives of everyone. But with the octopus of empire sucking blood and oil from all of this, there is hardly any room to serve the ignorant, barefoot billions, unless, if the police don't mind, they could share a little or not slaughter quite so many villages at dawn when the cocks first crow, on primeval green slopes, sleepy in the morning tropics. This nightmare vision that of empire to serve so few in the 0.5%, so that even in the homeland, even there, all but 1 million are neglected, violated, twisted to serve purposes not their own, though the press is stuffed in their mouths to let them barely breathe, their own native purposes stifled by the juggernaut of empire, armed to its iron teeth with automatic, hideous, flesh-firing napalm shells, only useful when aimed at human chests and cheeks. So, truly, let us talk about visions. But I think you can see there is a problem. Where do we start? For you see, we have slowly become a nation of butchers, but do not know we are.